Hi everyone, I'm Dakshita and this is my project. And the question I'm trying to address is high life expectancy rate of the female associated with a high mortality rate of male in Africa? And is there any other factor that is associated with it? So why am I interested in this topic? First, I'm really interested in Africa as a country, and then I'm traveling Africa next week. So I'm taking this opportunity to do some research about Africa. Also, with the external research, I found out that the lowest expectancy rate in the world is from Africa. So which is quite interesting. And also with the data set I found, I played with it and I found that the male life expectancy rate is less than the female life expectancy rate, and also like the male mortality rate is higher than female mortality rate. So that arose my question: is high life expectancy rate related with the high mortality rate of male in Africa? So talking about the data source, I found most of my data from WHO, World Health Organization Africa, and prb.org. This data source were really helpful in finding all the resources I needed, like the male mortality rate, female mortality rate, adult literacy rate of both male and female, and everything that I wanted for my analysis. And I also found that the data there was readily available, safe to use, and then it was also available in CSV file, which was very helpful for analysis in general. Let's talk about some of the hurdles and difficulties while I did this project. So my first hurdle was graphs. So for plotting the graph with like correct x and y axis, I was not able to do that, and it took me a lot of time to figure this out. And how I overcome this difficulty was by creating a method called bar plot, which takes in three parameters: x, y, z, and stores x, y in a list A, and then creates a new list B with the different values and uses list A and B to plot a graph. And that's how I found this beautiful graph, which is not what I wanted to show, but then it does its job. Okay, my next hurdle was also associated with the graph, which was about converting the NumPy arrays into lists to plot a graph. For a long time, I didn't convert my NumPy arrays into list and tried to plot a graph, and it didn't work. And then I figured out, oh, that was the wrong thing to do. And then I created a method called NumPy array to 1D, which takes in NumPy array and iterates through the NumPy array, and then the stores value from the NumPy array to the list and returns the list. And that's how I was successful in overcoming those hurdles. Now let's move on to my general analysis, which comes to the question that is there any association with the life expectancy of a female with a male mortality rate? And when I did the correlation coefficient, I found that there is a negative correlation. So yes, there is an association, which does answer my question here. And the negative correlation means that the increase in female life expectancy is associated with a decrease in a male mortality rate, and vice versa. So yeah, I answered those questions. And then the second was, what are some of the factors that could be associated with it? For that, I looked into adult literacy rate, and I found that the male has a higher adult literacy rate than female, which is not quite surprising for a country like Africa. And also I found that with an external research, I found that people who are more literate, they try to indulge into bad habits like smoking and use alcohol, which can be some of the reason why male has a lower life expectancy rate than female, as male has a high literacy rate here. So yeah, that was quite interesting. So at the very end, I also wanted to see this, how dispersed my data was, and I could see that it was not very dispersed, so they didn't give me a lot of information from there. But here is the graph that is showing the different life expectancy trends from 2011 to 2016. They are all upward trends, which is a good sign. So my next step, with the more time and resource available, I would definitely try to look into more factors associated with the mortality and the life expectancy rate, and also why it is causing like upward trends, and not just Africa. Like uh, I would like to research more about this topic for around the world. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.